students, welcome to another interesting session, which is session 5, and it's on developing critical thinking in social studies. I hope you will enjoy this session as well. Before then, let's look at the objectives we have set for this session. Objective 1 states that you should be able to explain the meaning of critical thinking. 2, you should be able to state at least 3 ways of using discussion methods as a means of promoting critical thinking. What then is critical thinking? If we are able to apply ideas, facts, concepts, skills, principles, and generalization among others, so that problems we identify are solved, that we are in the realm of critical thinking. The choices, the decisions we make are not just out of the blue. We do some thinking, we do some generalization, we apply some skills before we arrive at decisions on a daily basis. When we are doing that, we are in the area of what? Critical thinking. So we must be informed or aware that critical thinking is very important to be developed in social studies as well. In that, you are encouraged to help those that you also teach to do analysis, criticize, and advocate ideas, and also reason or think inductively and deductively, so as to be able to draw what? Conclusion. Are you aware that social studies syllabus for JHS also make provision or support the view that we apply knowledge, we apply concepts, skills, generalizations in order to make good decisions? We can do that through many ways, through reading, through listening to television, news, and whatever have you. Yes. So social studies syllabus for JHS encourages acquisition of critical thinking. Now, critical thinking can be promoted in a classroom. So now, what are some of the conditions that should prevail in the classroom so that critical thinking can be developed? We shall look at that in this slides. The first condition is that teacher should encourage the use of questions which will motivate students to clarify their thoughts. When students ask questions, their questions should be respected. We should not be quick to condemn or insult them for asking questions. We have to encourage them to ask questions which will clarify their misconceptions. The second point is that we have to encourage them to develop the habit of formulating good guesses, intelligent hypotheses. For example, they may ask themselves, why do girls perform in certain subjects better than boys, or why do boys perform better in certain subjects than girls? In other words, why are girls perceived to be better in certain subjects than boys, or why are boys perceived to be better in certain subjects than girls? We also allow students to enough time to reason or to think about questions we have thrown to them before you give them what? Feedback. You don't ask questions immediately, you demand response. Another point is that we have to consciously relate whatever we teach to what students already knew. There is a saying, knowledge is better acquired through learning from known to unknown. We have to begin our topic with a problem that the students have to think about. We can also apply discussion method to enhance critical thinking. How can this be done? First, set purpose for whatever discussion we want to undertake. Is it about acquiring speaking skill? Is it about listening skill? Is it about ability to articulate? There should be a purpose. Then two, there must be guideline. Guideline that will be based on the information we have to provide. We have to give learners or students enough information that will enable them have information to have facts to contribute during discussion. Give them information on the net. Give information, direct them to books, to sources that they can obtain information. The teacher must also take time to explain certain concepts or terms. For example, there is a difference between sex education and sexuality education. So dealing with this concept, the teacher can explain to them so the student don't get confused. The teacher must keep the discussion going by allowing the students to flow, not to interject unnecessarily. The teacher must also ensure that everybody has equal opportunity to contribute. There must be fair treatment. We can also put them into small groups, maybe 5 and 6 or 6 will be okay. Because if they are too large, the discussion becomes difficult. You can't control the discussion if the group is too large. Thank you for your attention. So we have gone through the importance of social studies being used to develop critical thinking and how this can be what? Developed. I hope you have understand the concept. If you do, let's go through briefly the self-assessment question. 1. Define the concept of critical thinking. 2. State 3 classroom conditions that promote critical thinking. 3. Explain how a discussion method can be used to promote critical thinking. Thank you.